At some point during my 7-year journey with insomnia, I went full Rambo. You never go full Rambo. You only go half Rambo. I get that I'm being tongue-in-cheek here, but there's a lot of truth to what I'm saying. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm an insomnia coach, and I help people who've tried everything, including medication, sleep hygiene, and CBTI, but still struggled with sleep, overcome their insomnia for good. One night before my insomnia recovery genuinely started, I wanted to try to face my fears and force myself to stay awake all night. I was just done with constantly worrying if I was going to sleep that night, and I really wanted to shake it up. I was going to do one of the worst things and drink a big pot of coffee right at 10:30 p.m. It turns out that I was kind of onto something here, but I didn't apply it with the tact that it needed. There's a bit of nuance here. What I did that was right was realize that the issue here was my anxiety, unacceptance, reluctance, whatever you want to call it, around not being able to sleep. There are many causes for a short-term lack of sleep, but if it becomes a long-term chronic issue despite not having any obvious reason for not being able to sleep, it's usually due to us having developed this unhealthy relationship with sleep. Now, what I did wrong here was I only tried this out for one night and I went full Rambo. What is full Rambo? Well, Rambo is what I call it when people really try to experience their fears in an overly effortful way. They go out of their way to experience wakefulness with the same amount of enthusiasm or determination or grit as if they were about to climb Mount Everest or face off against someone in a boxing ring. For me, it looked like drinking a full pot of coffee at 10:30 p.m., which is not something that I would never normally do. In a sense, this was still a step in a more helpful direction because I was choosing to voluntarily experience wakefulness. But what would still be even more helpful is to simply be more open to experiencing wakefulness. Wakefulness is not something to be conquered. Rather, it's something that would be more helpful to take some steps to experience more of. And as you progress throughout your insomnia recovery, you will organically do that. And I know it's much easier said than done, and when you're awake at 3 in the morning, it's very confusing, disorienting, and uncomfortable when you're dealing with insomnia. That's why I left a link for my free webinar where I explain what to do when you're wide awake at 3 in the morning. It explains to you exactly what to do the next time that you're in that situation. You can find the link in the description below. When I wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and it takes me a little longer than usual to fall back asleep, I don't spring up from my bed, charge to my kitchen to make a huge pot of coffee like I was rushing into battle just to prove to wakefulness that I can beat it. Instead, these days it's more like how I would handle a difficult night of sleep before my insomnia started. I'd either just, hang out in my bed, maybe daydream, or maybe have a midnight snack. I don't know. I wasn't that proactive with it. It was just okay to be there and take in the peaceful nighttime setting. That's pretty much what I would do these days. Maybe I would go over to my couch and hang out in my living room for a bit. If I'm awake in the middle of the night, I'm not going to take action and face down my insomnia like an MMA fighter. If I'm awake in the middle of the night, I'm not sprinting to take charge and face down my insomnia like it's an MMA fighter, because honestly, I don't feel like doing that. It doesn't really feel that enjoyable to do that at 3 o'clock in the morning. Simply being a little bit more accepting that we are awake at nighttime and that voluntarily exposing ourselves to that nighttime wakefulness to help kill our fear of it in the long term is much more helpful. Maybe sleep doesn't happen that night, but the important thing is putting this into practice so that our sleep slowly comes back to us more and more. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please drop a comment or like the video. Here at Insomnia to Peace, I provide coaching services to people looking to overcome their insomnia for good.